My son's teacher called me at 8:14 a.m. on a Wednesday to ask why he hadn't been dropped off yet. I was sitting in my office. My husband had left with him at 7:30. I called my husband, straight to voicemail. I called again, voicemail. I stood up so fast my chair hit the wall behind me. My coworker looked over, and I couldn't explain what was wrong because I didn't know yet. I just grabbed my keys and walked out. On the drive, I called Noah's school again. We haven't seen him, Mrs. Calloway. We're going to notify the front office. That sentence, the way she said it, so careful, so slow. I ran a red light and didn't notice until someone honked behind me. I called my husband's office. His assistant Paula picked up. Oh, he called in sick today actually. Said it was a stomach thing. He wasn't sick this morning. He made eggs. He packed Noah's dinosaur lunchbox while I watched. He kissed me on the cheek at 7:28. I pulled over on Merchant Street and just sat there. I opened Find My on my phone. His location was off. It had been off since 7:31 a.m., 1 minute after he left the house. He had never turned his location off in 4 years. We'd agreed to keep it on when Noah started school. For safety, we said. For emergencies, we said. This was the emergency. I called my sister before I called the police because I needed someone to tell me I was overreacting. She didn't tell me that. She said, go to the police right now. I'm meeting you there. At the station, they took the report seriously. Faster than I expected. A detective named Rowan asked me questions I wasn't prepared for. Is there any reason your husband would want to take your son without telling you? Are there any custody disputes? Has he ever discussed taking Noah anywhere? No. We weren't that couple. We weren't having problems. We had dinner together last night. Noah showed us a drawing of a dog he wanted for Christmas. Then Detective Rowan slid a printed screenshot across the table. It was from my husband's email, a forwarded flight confirmation, 2 tickets to Porto, Portugal, departing that morning at 11:05 a.m. from a regional airport 40 minutes away. Names on the booking, James Calloway and Noah Calloway. Booked 6 days ago. I stopped breathing. We found this when we accessed his account with an emergency warrant. Mrs. Calloway, we need to ask you something difficult. Rowan folded his hands. Were you aware your husband filed for emergency sole custody 11 days ago? The petition was denied 3 days later. The judge found no grounds. I had not been served. I didn't know. I had no idea he'd gone to a courthouse, hired a lawyer, stood in front of a judge, and argued that I was unfit. No idea what he said about me in those filings. No idea what I didn't know about my own marriage. My sister grabbed my hand under the table. They stopped them at the gate. TSA flagged the names at 10:47 a.m. James was detained. Noah was brought to a family services worker in a room with a fish tank and a box of crayons while they sorted out what to do next. I drove to that airport in 18 minutes. When I walked into that room, Noah looked up and said, Mommy, Daddy said we were going on a surprise trip. He said you knew. He had his lunchbox in his lap, the dinosaur one, fully packed. James's lawyer called me at 9 p.m. that night with a single statement. My client believed the custody environment had become unsafe and acted out of fear for his son's well-being. Unsafe. I have held that word in my mouth for 3 weeks now, turning it over, trying to understand what version of me he had constructed in his mind, what story he'd been telling himself, what I may have done or not done or said that could have made a man pack a bag for our child in the middle of the night without telling me. Noah asked me this morning if Daddy is coming home for Christmas. I don't know what to tell him, and I'm not sure which answer would hurt him less.